Hello and welcome to a little video about the paraphrase. Before we get into what I want you to do with this paraphrase and how to visually show it to me, I want to spend a couple of minutes talking about what the paraphrase is and what it is not. The paraphrase is a restatement of ideas. You can also think of it as a clarification of rather complex ideas. The paraphrase is also in your own words. It is precise, and finally it is roughly the same length as the original. A paraphrase is not a simple restatement of the thesis or the central argument. It is not a distortion of or an opinion about the topic. And it is certainly not a significantly shorter version of the original text. Now I'm going to take you through the steps that I want you to follow in making an audio-video paraphrase. So the first thing you need to do is take a picture of the section that you want to paraphrase and then paste it into your creation. For the purposes of this example, I'm going to be focusing on this section right here. In this part of the book, Alex is about to begin on his adventure into Alaska. He's being picked up by Galen, who notices that Alex looks completely unprepared for what he is about to embark on. He takes note of his lack of warm clothing, cheap boots, and small caliber gun, which would be no good for hunting the large animals Alex needs to survive. He also sees that Alex has no axe, bug repellent, or compass. In fact, he notes that the only navigational tool that Alex seems to possess is a road map that he got from the gas station. Now let's take a look at what making inferences looks like. This passage comes from the beginning of the book, before we know Alex too well. So let's take a look at some of the things that we can learn about him from looking at this passage. This section shows Alex to either be stupid or arrogant. He's clearly underprepared and clearly has done none of the research necessary for an adventure like this. So how do we know this? Well, the first way is the repetition of the idea that what Alex had was too minimal, too insufficient. The author writes that his gear was minimal. His boots were cheap. His rifle was only .22 calibers, was too small. And then he gets into the repetition of the things that Alex lacked. He had no axe, no bug dope, no snowshoes, no compass. This repetition suggests that Alex was grossly underprepared for what he was about to do. The writer also uses a fairly honest diction. Right from the beginning, he states that Galen was concerned. This sets the tone for the paragraph, forcing the reader to examine the ways that Alex is concerning Galen. He then immediately uses the word admitted. This word is essential because it seems to suggest that Alex was aware of the fact that he did not possess the sufficient gear and food to survive out there. This implies that rather than being stupid and ignorant of what was going to happen, Alex was simply arrogant. He knew the risks ahead, but had decided that those risks did not apply to him. Thus, this paragraph demonstrates that Alex was under the impression that he did not need to heed the warnings of anybody else. He was simply better than them and more adventurous and able to do things that others before him were not able to do. This is what leads me to infer that Alex was arrogant. Now, the way to do this is really quite simple. If you're on a tablet or an iPad, obviously, download the app Educreations. If you're on a laptop, go to the website educreations.com. As for making the actual presentation, you're going to do it the same way I did. You're going to use the help features and you're going to watch YouTube videos. Alright, good luck.